82 pitches to get through 7 shutout innings. Gave up the 1 hit, retired that on a double play, so faced the minimum 21 batters. Yeah, as Jesse said, Padres faced just the 27 batters, 27 outs, got the 2 double plays, the 2 times a guy got on base. Pretty much a miserable night for the Atlanta Braves last night at Petco Park.
You know how Crony last year had 1 home run off a lefty? I think we had 1 Sunday win from the San Diego Padres to talk about on a Monday. That's how it at least feels to me. We were in the dugout laughing about it yesterday, like, hey, man, I don't know. Padres have won 3 straight, and they're on Sunday Night Baseball, and it's a Sunday, and Ben and Woods broadcast on Monday. I'd bet the farm on the Atlanta Braves, and the Padres said, absolutely not. We are taking this 4th game, and we are going to mop these fools and get them out of here. And what awaits the Braves? Good luck. Now you have to go play the Dodgers. I mean, they're in real danger of starting their season 0-7, Benny. The Dodgers are no joke. They'll for their troubles, they'll get Dustin May today, I believe, or Glasnow today, Dustin May tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, welcome to the NL West. It has been a juggernaut so far. Everyone's playing well, except for the Rockies, as we kind of expected. But I couldn't be more impressed with what I saw from Nick Pivetta. And again, you don't want to overstate it, but tell me that there's not some Ruben Niebla influence in the way that guy is pitching right now.
In fact, I was reading Kevin Acey's newsletter this morning, and he specifically, and I saw him go over when I was in the clubhouse last night and whisper a couple of things to Ruben. And now I know exactly what they were talking about.
He said, hey, Poppy, I love you.
He said, he was asking, so, okay, what changes have you already implemented with Nick Pivetta? And the biggest change so far from his time with the Red Sox is shifting him over to the first base side of the mound. Yep. And he wrote some of the reasoning behind it, that he was from the third base side. He had a tendency to pull across either outside, or when he was trying to throw it inside, would pull it across and leave it over the plate.
Sure.
And that left Nick Pivetta, he tended to give up a lot of home runs.
He did
when he was in Boston. And Nick was very, after the game, when we talked to him, was like, okay, guys, it's 1 start. It's a great start, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Calm your jets.
After just 1. But it was, it was a great outing.
Cool your jets.
Maybe we're seeing a little bit of the Ruben Niebla influence. He certainly seems to have a little magic touch when it comes to, small tweaks and changes that pitchers make once they come to the Padres that just tend to make them more effective and more consistent. And what a great beginning to his Padres career. I mean, you couldn't ask for any more from Nick Pivetta.
No. I mean, it was a beautiful, beautiful performance from what is now, I guess, your number 4 starter. And they'll mix and match, I guess, when they need to, depending on what the schedule allows and dictates. But again, Fernando Tatis Jr., Ben, setting the tone at the top of the lineup with another 2 hits. Machado.
Now, one of them, the first one, was a complete accident.
It's still a knock, my friend. You still have to get that ball down the line. And by the way, a lot of guys would have been satisfied with just a lucky single. He stretched it to 2 and ends up scoring in the first inning.
I was incensed, though, that it was the ESPN Sunday night game, and Mudd wasn't there to finally enjoy
if he hits
the fruits of his career, because he hit it, and it was a double. And I don't think it would have been, they mentioned, I don't think it would have been a swinging strike had he not hit it. He checked. He didn't even go across the zone, but it hit his bat. It rolled down the line, turned into the double. And then Manny, who, remember, on Saturday had to come out of the game with what they told us was just a leg cramp, and he said, I'll be okay. He was back in the lineup yesterday. Does one of those great opposite field Manny drives off the wall to bring him in. Padres actually could have had a really big inning there in the bottom of the first. Jared Kelenic robbed Jackson Merrill, who I absolutely laced one into the corner. I thought it might be a home run. Certainly thought it was going to be a double or a triple. Kelenic made a fantastic grabber. The Padres might have put that game away much earlier than they did. So the Braves kind of kept into it, but then Padres loaded the bases in the second inning. Did not score. Luis Arraez came up with the bases loaded, so good with runners in scoring position. Stung one to the outfield, but he just cannot seem to find anything but gloves to start the season. Now 0 for 13 to begin the season for Luis Arraez.
Which is exactly how he started last season.
True.
For the Marlins, he won the batting title.
He did win another batting title last year.
He did.
Then in the third inning, Xander came through with a 2-out double after a Jake Cronenworth walk to give him a 2-0 lead, a nice clutch hit for Xander, who's reached base in every single game.
Yep.
Has an extra base hit now, so that was nice. And then, you saw him after Pivetta's 7 innings. They added some offense in the 7th and the 8th, pull away for that 5-0 win for the second 4-0 start in franchise history.
Gavin Sheets caught a couple more barrels. Lockridge comes in, pinch hit appearance, gets a knock, drives in a run, insurance-wise. I mean, look, this is a brand of Padres baseball that everyone has been fiending for. They are an absolute delight to watch play the game so far through 4 games. A delight. I mean, good defense, heady defense. Yes, they're getting some breaks. The ball is bouncing their way right now. Great. Take it and take that luck and run with it as long as you can. It's not like they're playing crappy baseball and getting lucky, though. We've seen that before with teams. Like, they're not even playing well and they're getting all these, bounces and breaks going their way. No, they're also playing really good baseball, and the ball just happens to be bouncing in their favor right now. But, man, since they started on opening day, Ben, incredible bullpen. My God, an incredible bullpen.
So Jason Adam walks a guy. Looks like,
Yeah, he totally lost the plot there.
Pivetta, I understand why they took him out after 7 innings, even 82 pitches. It's the first start of the year.
100%.
And you got Jason Adam now rested after a day off. So you bring in Adam, and then he walks the first guy on 4 pitches, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, man, are we going to give up all of our great ground that we got? And then he gets the double play, the very heady play, where Manny hits off of Adam's foot. Manny charges, gets the guy at first.
You would have been happy with just that out.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, all day.
And then Arraez heads up play when Ozuna thinks, maybe I can take third because Manny's off the bag. Realizes he can't, and then he's too far off the bag. Perfect throw to Jake to back pick and complete the double play. Goes along with that great Jake double play from earlier in the series when he let the ball drop, turned it into a third to second double play. Really smart baseball. And Mike Schilt talked about it after the game. He's got a high baseball IQ team. And that's already really been on display in the first 4 games of the season.
It's really what you dream of, man. It really is. Good, heady defense. Aggressive on the base paths. I did not have any problem with Nando trying to stretch that into a double after he had driven in the run. Keep the pressure on. What does Jackson Merrill say? We are going to pound this thing into the ground. We don't feel pressure. We apply pressure. And they do. They absolutely do. Ozuna looks to take that bag because they're down. They need to make something happen, Ben. And you catch those guys napping, or you catch them trying to be over aggressive and feeling the pressure. And what do? You apply it right back at them. Inspiring 4 games from the San Diego Padres to start the year. Couldn't be happier. I would have been happy with a split, man. I really would have. The Braves are going to be tough. They have good pitching. We really got to their bullpen, but everybody's contributing in some fashion. Eve Jake struck out 3 times last night, draws the huge walk, ends up scoring a run. Hits the double off the guy's leg the day before, ends up scoring the only run. Everybody is contributing right now for this team. And mostly everybody.
Yeah. They got the extra runs that allowed them to rest Robert Suarez another day.
It's all those things that add up.
But Estrada comes in and just blows 3 guys away.
Just filthy.
With his absolute, high heat. And a good point in the chat from Rioni, who says the 4-game sweep of the Braves means the Padres own the tiebreaker at the end of the year. They have clinched the season series with only 3 games left against Atlanta on the road later this season. There's no way Atlanta can come back. So if it does come down, and we talked about it last year, we many times mentioned the Padres won the season series against the Braves early, and they would have needed to get an extra game against the Padres at some point if they were going to catch them in the wild card. And it was good to have that extra game in hand when you probably are going to be in a wild card race at the end of the year.
Yeah.
These losses for the Braves early, they will recover. They will be a good team, but you've got some, bird in the hand against Atlanta going forward that could end up being very critical when September rolls around, especially if they don't win the division. If Philly or the Mets win that division and the Padres and the Braves are battling for a wild card spot, go back to this series. First 4 games of the year could end up being very important for the San Diego Padres.
So we only have 3 more against those guys.
3 more against Atlanta the rest of the year.
Season series
clinched.
Just like that. Fantastic. They want me to talk. Alex wants me to talk Arraez 0 for 13. There's nothing I can say. He's not he's right there. Like it's going to happen. The thing about Luis Arraez, he's not going to get a knock here, a knock there. When it will be a 3 for 4, followed by a 3 for 4, followed by a 2 for 4, and the next thing you know, he's 8 for his last 11.
He might go 13 for his next 13 and be hitting 500 in 4 days.
I just don't worry about him. I just don't worry about him.
If he was, if he was striking,
if he looked like Rafael Devers, if he looked like Devers right now, I'd be concerned.
I believe he hasn't struck out once in the 13.
I don't think so either.
He's hit the ball hard, and he's just rolled over on some to the second baseman. He's hit some line drives to the outfield. They're just not falling. That's baseball. Mike Schultz said after the game, I would be tickled, I believe was his phrasing, if Luis Arraez batted every single inning. There's no worries at all about Luis Arraez.
Jason Hayward is one too that caught. He hasn't gotten a knock yet. Had a couple of good ABs.
He did.
Made a nice catch and left.
He's been chasing a little bit, not seeing. I think some of the breaking stuff as well out of the hand. It bears at least
something. It's something to keep your eye on.
Keep your eye on. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to make any changes right now with the team at 4-0, but it's
we don't complain about wins.
It's something to keep your eye on. That's about it at this point.